Yes, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Guess what? We're back with another episode on the finished article, all things Sky Blues. I've got my homeboy Richard on. How you doing, Rich? Hope you're well.
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Thanks, mate.
What can I say, man? It's a beautiful day. It's Thursday, and guess what? We don't have to worry because Coventry City are finally safe. So before we kick off in today's episode, guys, see that ticker below. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. As always, without your support, we wouldn't be where we are today. And you know what? I really felt like wearing the new City jersey that I got the other day. Had to represent. Absolutely loving it. So we're going to kick off by covering the Huddersfield versus Coventry Preview. So we're playing them away on Saturday. Now Huddersfield, I believe, are still fighting to stay up. They're a few points. They're 4 points below Coventry. So, Rich, let's go into it. What are your thoughts, mate?
Well, Huddersfield are obviously going to be up for it. They've got more to play for than us. But obviously, we still want to finish as high as we can up the table and end the season on a high. I think Robbins, there's a good chance he will ring the changes a bit. As we touched upon in the last podcast, you never know. He might give the likes of Eccles and Pask a little bit more game time. He might... he might give someone like Jordan Shipley, who's been an unused sub in the last few games. He might use it as an opportunity to bring him back into the side. I mean, Robbins knows as much as anyone, knows better than anyone Shipley's strengths and weaknesses, but it's an opportunity to bring him back in.
So, Rich, what I've just done there,
Will Papaga too we might get to see what he can do.
Absolutely. So what I've just done is brought up the league table to show where Huddersfield currently are. So you can see them on 47 points, 4 points behind Coventry City. I still think it's a crucial game for them. And you know what, Rich, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's time to blood some fresh talent. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Tavares? He scored a hat-trick the other day in the reserve game against Cardiff. Would you play him?
Well, it's obviously going to be a massive step up from under 23s to first team, but these players have got to start somewhere. They've got to be given a chance somewhere. So you never know. Maybe put him on the bench, bring him on with 20 minutes to go. Who knows? Absolutely.
No, that's great. So I mean, I'm going to bring up some stats that Rich shared with me. I'm going to let Rich talk through them. And they're quite interesting. I didn't realize that we hadn't played Huddersfield in a while, but, you know, I'll bring them up and we can run through them with the viewers. So here we go. So go for it, Rich.
Well, it'll be our first competitive visit to Huddersfield. Obviously, we played them at home earlier in the season, but the first time we played away there in a competitive game since League Cup tie in 1977. We won that game 2-0. I have actually been away to Huddersfield to see us play a pre-season friendly. But yeah, first competitive game there since 1977, and that was at their old ground.
Fair enough. I didn't realize we hadn't played them in a while. I thought we might, but I checked the stats after you shared them with me, so that was interesting to know that we hadn't played them. I mean, moving on, we've got crikey.
Yeah, so even longer ago.
Yeah, last travel to Huddersfield for a league fixture in 1972 where we picked up a 1-0 win.
So they were actually in the top flight with us. I didn't realise that myself. I knew Huddersfield and Coventry were in the top flight at the same time.
Yes, absolutely.
They got relegated in 72.
Yes, indeed. And then moving on, what we got? Oh, yes, I think you covered the Saturday's meeting would be their first visit to Huddersfield's John Smith Stadium. Rich, I mean, you've been around to a number of grounds. I mean, have you been to Huddersfield's ground? You said.
Yeah, I went there for a pre-season friendly. I mean, Huddersfield didn't move to this ground until 1994, and it's had a number of different names since then because of sponsors and the works. But yeah, I went there for a pre-season friendly. A lot of people who do tick off the grounds they go to don't count friendlies, but I think it takes as much dedication to go to a friendly as it does to any game. So I count it as one that I've been to.
That's a fair enough. No, I agree, mate. I agree. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on the game? How do you think it'll pan out? I mean, I think there isn't going to be much pressure on Robbins, I guess, but I still think you want to end up with a couple of wins.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be a draw.
Okay, no, that's fair. I mean, what I wanted to touch upon, I know we briefly touched upon it, but I thought I'd just bring it up to share with the viewers. So, potential lineups. I mean, Rich, I mean, do you see any major changes for Robbins ahead of this game in the weekend? I know Kelly's out injured. I don't think he'll be playing. I mean, what do you reckon? Do you reckon he'll go with?
Well, when I've tried to predict Robbins' starting lineups in the past few weeks, I've been well off. So I could be wrong, but like I say, you may give the likes of Eccles and pass starts. You might bring Shipley back in after he's been an unused sub in at least the last 4 games, probably longer than that. He could potentially give Bakayoko a run out. I mean, he's out of contract in the summer. I can't see him staying, but
yeah, I was going to say, I know,
put himself in the shop window.
And I know we're going to cover this at the weekend because it's another episode that we'll be doing, looking at the squad and who we want to stay and who's going to go. I mean, we'll touch upon that. But do you reckon, just briefly, do you reckon they'll give Kelly a contract to stay, or do you reckon his time's? What do you reckon?
I'd like to see him stay because, in my view, he's been one of our players of the season. So obviously, his fitness will come into it a lot because he's had a couple of injuries, but who knows?
I've got a comment here, Rich. I want to bring up for you to share. I think you might know this. Yeah. So here we go. So it says, do you think Robbins should play a full-strength side against Huddersfield? Up for a few the standout performance from the development squad. Very good question. Thank you very much for tuning in. And go for it, Rich. I'll let you answer this one.
I think you should mix it about a bit. Like, we still want to win the game, and young players as well. Part of the benefit of putting them in the first team is that they've got experience. It gives them an opportunity to play alongside experienced players. So we don't want to hold aside the kids out, but yeah, if he gives 1 or 2 youngsters a go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know how Tavares does, because I watched the game. Well, I saw the highlights of the game, the reserve game, the 6-1 win, and also Bapaga. So I've heard he's one for the future, and I think it'd be good because I've heard he's quite quick. And you know what? I think we do need a striker in the summer, but it'd be worth seeing what these guys can do. But as always, thank you very much for your comment. Keep them coming in. Now moving on, we basically, myself and Rich, wanted to talk about another key topic, and I think we'll all enjoy this one, the reopening of the North Stand. So I know this has been a hot topic for a while. Rich, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so a little bit of background into this. It was actually when the season after we moved back from Sixfields a few years back.
Yeah.
For fans, for non-Coventry fans watching this, obviously struggling in League One. Our attendance is, I can't remember what we were averaging, but we were getting less than 10,000 some weeks in a 32-seater stadium. So to make the atmosphere a bit better, to stop the fans being so spread out, and I also think saving money came into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
They shut the North Stand and that had its benefits. Obviously, having the fans all close together created a better atmosphere. But the negative side of it was the stadium would always look empty, especially on the telly where the cameras would be in the main.
I was going to say, so a number of times when we were at the Ricoh, Richie, I don't know if you can remember when we watch them play against Sunderland, for example. And was it the game that we drew 1-1 with Sunderland at the Ricoh? And I can't remember who scored. Was it Johnson Clark Harris that scored?
Yes,
and he scored in
1-1.
Yeah, and he scored into the net, but the stand was empty. So, I mean, for me, that was a bit weird. You would think you'd like to have fans on both ends of the pitch, which would make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking forward. I mean, Rich, I know we renewed our season ticket. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, are you looking to stay where you are, or are you looking to, what would you do, relocate behind the goal? What do you reckon?
Probably stay where we are to begin with, but then we've always got the option of moving a few games in if we think it might be better up the other end. But absolutely. I remember a couple of seasons ago, we just played Bristol Rovers, and I was talking to a Bristol Rovers fan outside the ground. I can't remember what the attendance was. Bear in mind, this was the year we got relegated, but for League One, we still had one of the. We're probably the third. I can't remember exactly, but the third or fourth highest average attendance in the division. Even then, but being such a big stadium, it looked empty. And I remember this Bristol Rovers fan, I was getting on quite well with him. And then he turns around and basically told me how bad our support was because we had a whole stand empty. I bit my tongue, but I was thinking, you cheeky so-and-so, we probably get double the amount of fans you get at your games just because you have smaller ground. Your ground looks packed every week.
No, that's true. I mean, there's something I want to share with you, Richie, and get your thoughts because I think it's quite important. Since we're on the thread, we might as well share it. So I don't know if you saw this article that came up. Let me know if you can see it. Basically, this is talking about the phase 2 return of the membership. So the original allocation of 8,000 sold out, and they're looking to move into phase 2, where an additional 2,000 season tickets or memberships will be available, which I think is fantastic news. But I think that's dependent on the government rules. But just so I get your quick take on that, Rich, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you reckon we'll get back to full capacity, or do you reckon it will be still touch and go?
It's going to be touch and go, isn't it? But if the club are doing all the club can do is they can just do their bit, and we can't control what the government do. So
No,
club
no,
just do their bit, and hopefully we get some normality.
Hopefully,
at least early in the season.
No,
I'll be ordering my Coventry City face shield soon, so I'll be looking forward to wearing that in the games.
I think that's a must for every single fan. So I think the one other topic we're going to touch upon briefly is here. So who's getting promoted and relegated into the championship? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the table as I did before. Give me a sec, guys. And guys, before we carry on, please, as always, leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. It'd be greatly appreciated. So here we go. 1 second. Yep. Let me know if you can see that. So I'm currently showing the bottom of the table right now. So I mean, we might as well start with the relegation battle. So I know we briefly touched upon it in previous videos, but what do you reckon, Rich? So we got Derby, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, and Wickham vying to stay up. I mean, I think Wickham are down.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield Wednesday might be down. I don't know if it's mathematically confirmed or not.
No, I actually thought I hadn't looked at the table properly going into the last podcast. Then if Wednesday do get out of it, you and I have both been saying for weeks that they're doomed. So we could be getting some stick off some Sheffield Wednesday fans if they do stay up, because they actually played Derby County last game of the season.
Yes, they did.
What's the goal difference? So if Sheffield Wednesday get a positive result at the weekend and Derby lose, it's going to come down to that game.
Well, it's interesting because the Derby game is a lunchtime kickoff, and the Sheffield Wednesday play just after. So let me zoom in a bit. Let me know if you can see that, if that's easier.
Yeah,
that might be easier. So yeah, it's going to be an intriguing game. I mean, I don't know. I think Huddersfield basically they need a result against us, which would be interesting. I'm hoping Cov go out and win. I'm going to stay at 1-0 win to cover the weekend, but it'd be interesting. But yeah, those are the takes. So for me, I think Wickham are down. Sheffield Wednesday for me are down. And you know, I don't mind biting the bullet and putting my neck on the line for saying it. I think it's going to be between Rotherham and Derby. And I think I'll be honest with you, Rotherham have really let some of the games slip. So I know it was a massive 6-pointer when we beat them. Thanks to your boy Leo Ostergaard for the amazing header that secured gave us the second win of 3. But I think Rotherham are down, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think even if they win the game in hand of Derby and Huddersfield now, they'll still be a point behind Derby, I think.
Yeah, they've got Luton.
Well, they're now 4 behind.
Yeah, they're 4 behind.
They kind of, them games in hand, like you always say, games in hand are all well and good, but you've still got to win them. And
that is true. That is true.
So that good win against QPR they had. Rotherham haven't won them. So
absolutely. So we are now going to cover. Give me a second. If I bring it up, who's coming down from the Premier League? I was just about to say who's going up, but we don't really care about that. We only care about who's coming down. Okay, let me know. Can you see that, Rich?
Yeah.
Nice. So go on, Rich. What are your thoughts?
Well, Sheffield United are mathematically down now. West Brom, it's not looking good for them. They appointed Sam Allardyce a little bit too late. So that'll be a local derby that we'll have next season. With a bit of luck, fans will be allowed to go. Because it's always, I've got a terrible record results-wise of seeing City at West Brom. I think I've been there twice, seen us get hammered twice. But
you went to pre-season friendly at West Brom a few years back, didn't you?
No, I think I've been there twice for league matches, and I went there. We got hammered 5-0 once, but the atmosphere, the City fans just sang for 90 minutes non-stop, and it was actually quite a good day out if you take the result away.
No, that's true. I mean, that's true. I mean, my opinion, and I did call out on another thread that I thought that Newcastle United were going down, but I think since I said that, they've actually picked up some decent results. So I don't know. I actually thought Fulham were coming on form because Scott Parker had got them playing good football, but I don't know. Sheffield United are definitely down. I know that. West Brom, do you reckon Sam Allardyce can pull it off, or do you reckon it's done for the season?
Part of me would actually like him to, because I'm just such a big fan of Sam Allardyce, but I think they appointed him too late.
Yeah, I mean, they played, I think, Villa in their last game, and they were so unlucky not to come away with the win, but a last-minute equaliser from the Villains, I think, has condemned them, which is unfortunate because, like you said, Sam Allardyce has worked wonders, but I think this is a bridge step too far for them. Brighton and Hove Albion, what do you reckon? Are they all right?
I mean, they've got a bit of a lead on Fulham now, haven't they?
Yeah, it's 5 games to go.
Fulham, they're another Huddersfield, another side who we haven't been in the same division as them since 1968.
Oh, okay.
I think it must be an unwritten rule. We just always avoid each other. And bear in mind, both clubs have been in all 4 divisions of the league in the last 25 years. It is incredible how Coventry and Fulham always seem to avoid each other, but we've done our bit, staying in the Championship. If they get relegated, we might finally have an away day to Fulham next season.
When was the last time we played Sheffield United? I mean, Rich, do you remember? I think it was.
It would have been 2017 in League One. They got promoted, we got relegated.
Okay.
I think Leon Clark and John Fleck scored for them.
Crikey. Some ex-City players coming back to the Ricoh next season, eh? Should be interesting. Depends on who they keep. It should be, indeed.
Is David McGoldrick still there?
Yeah, he's still there. I reckon. But you know what, Rich? I want to ask you one question. I know this is going off topic, but do you reckon? I reckon we needed a proven goal scorer. I know we'll cover this on the weekend, but I just think that Tyler Walker has 7, which is okay, but it's not really sufficient. I guess in these games. But yeah, I mean, you know what, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in. As always, all things Sky Blues are great experience. So, Rich, I mean, final thoughts. I mean, what are your predictions for the game on Saturday?
I've got a sneaky feeling it'll be a draw.
Okay, cool. So, Rich is calling.
I hope we win, and I hope Huddersfield. I hope it leaves Huddersfield going into the last day of the season needing something, because from a neutral point of view, it's exciting. Now we're safe. It would be exciting to see
he's calling it. He said, "Don't want to call it."
Still go down.
No, that's true.
I don't mind who goes down out of all of them, but
you know what? I have to take my invisible hat off to Mark Robbins because of the job he's done. Absolutely wondrous job this season. We've had some standout results this season. I mean, for me, I think beating KPR and Reading at home was fantastic. The Millwall away game was another great win. And obviously beating Rotherham was crucial. I think we've only won 4 games away from home this season, but 2 of them have come in the last couple of games, which I think is fantastic. But guys, until next time, take care, stay safe, and play up Sky Blues.
Yeah, play up Sky Blues.
See ya.